Hi, Helen. Thanks so much for that meditation.
Hi.
Yeah, I find it really helpful doing a meditation with the eyes open, because it's always my temptation to, I suppose it always helps me to close my eyes, to kind of remove the focus from the outside world. So it's helpful to kind of practice doing that. I'm always tempted, even when I'm asked to keep my eyes open, to close them. So I didn't this time. And I really do feel how relaxing it is to, I guess it's like relaxing, but also I get this really strong sense of aliveness, from focusing on the field or the consciousness. And I suppose it reminds me of a feeling that I used to have when I was younger. I used to zone out a lot. So I used to and it was very much kind of like going out of focus, but I knew everything was there.
Yeah.
You know, I could I was still aware of everything. But I found that feeling very relaxing. I did it quite a lot when I was a kid. People would be like, hello, where are you, kind of thing, you know. And I noticed some of that feeling coming back in, at points during that meditation. And I think I've had that question before of, what if anything is the difference between focusing on the field or zooming out, and kind of being zoned out. Yeah, how do you differentiate between those things?
That's a good question. For me, I used to kind of zone out a lot too. I think I spent most of my life zoned out, if I'm honest, trying to avoid. And the difference for me between that and the awakened state would be that in the awakened state, I'm also aware of the phenomena of the objects. I can, it's not exclusive of, so if I'm zoned out, I might not even be aware there's someone talking to me, or I might not notice something I need to notice. But in the awakened state, there is an inclusion that isn't present. Mind is either trying to notice the field or there's things appearing in it. But when we notice the field, actually, you can't help, like if I notice the space in this room, I can't help but notice the objects in it too. I'm not either oring it. I can't ignore anything inside the field. I also can't focus on it in an intense way, which is what we do when we suffer. We zoom into thoughts and things. So the zoning out was a kind of noticing, kind of opting out of, but it's also one or the other, isn't it? Can you see? It might feel nice and relaxing, but then there'll be somebody going, hey, I've been talking to you. Did you hear what I said? And you're like,
right,
no clue what you just said at all. So the awakened state is that and more. It's an inclusion of the phenomena appearing also. Because you can't notice the if we take the analogy of the field of grass, you can't notice the field and exclude anything in it.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I think I've definitely had moments where I've been, it doesn't actually happen as much as it used to, but when I started experiencing that sense of, intense kind of aliveness and presence, at the same time as feeling very relaxed, there was that question coming from my mind of, is this zoning out? But it does feel quite different. I know what you mean.
It's the either orness of mind, isn't it? Mind works in duality. It works in either or. It says phenomena or noumenon. It says ego or self. And reality is both, so that the field is inclusive of everything, every way you can show up as form or formless, as all the objects in the room or the space the room is appearing in. And as we notice the field or the awareness, it's just inclusive of everything. That's why it's so very relaxing. We're not trying to choose. That's where that intense aliveness comes from. It costs us a lot of energy to only focus on objects, or and then eventually to only focus on the field. So when we stop doing that, there's this kind of a very alive presence, intense awakeness that's here already quite naturally. And we're just moving from the either or way of doing it in meditation to this very simple way of just, it's very inclusive naturally, isn't it?
Yeah, that helps make sense of it, actually. Yeah, because I think, since kind of getting into spirituality and meditation, there's been, more of that focus of like trying to get in contact with the all at the expense of the kind of separate objects or
I did that for a
phenomenon.
while, to only focus on the field, but that's actually impossible. You can't really do that, can you? If you actually notice in meditation, I can't notice the empty space in this room and ignore everything in it. It's just, but I also can't zoom into anything particularly in that way of being. That's why it's so freeing.
Yeah. Thank you, Helen.
That happens with our thoughts then, doesn't it? Or whatever mind is saying, it's not suddenly saying it to me. It's just talking in the space of being.
Yeah.
Thoughts
Thank you. That's
become
really
no more special than anything else in the field.
Yeah. Thank you.
Good question. Good to talk to you.
Yeah, you too.